Shut up, it is not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Yes, I'll go through a quick explanation. We could go further into detail at a later time, but I can let you know how today socioeconomically oppressed Black areas in the Americas and around, right, what we call the hood, are a direct mini replica of Africa today. And we can begin at the Trans-Asian slave trade that was followed by the Indian Ocean slave trade, that was followed by the Arab slave trade, that was followed by the Transatlantic European slave trade. What you will find with two of those slave trades today, the Trans-Asian and the Indian Ocean, is an evolution from slave trade, colonialism to neocolonialism, as they garnered strong business contracts by stolen resource and land and labor, denying Black ownership today. Across Africa, you will find strong Trans-Asian slave trade and Indian Ocean business ownership across the continent that block out Black ownership. Moving on to the Arab and Transatlantic European slave trade that is still going on today out of places like Libya, Liberia, Nigeria. I can explain. While the Arab slave trade is just directly snatching up people to slave, also taking oil from Africa, the Transatlantic European slave trade is operating on a term of Black excellence, where they go into those states, grab up what they deem as Black excellence, bring those youth into their environments to go ahead and labor their brain, upping their GDP, just to spit them out in the end, as we saw during the Russia and Ukraine incident. Now, how can this be explained on how it is replicated in the hood today? I can explain in a simple Black day. You wake up in the morning in your Trans-Asian slave trade here, you get in your Trans-Asian slave trade car, you drive to your Indian Ocean slave trade convenience store, and you put your Arab slave trade gas in that car. You drive to your Transatlantic European slave trade job to labor for under your value. Then you will return with your Black dollar and throw all of it right back into those markets. And those businesses that are set up in the hood, your Black ass can't own. Talking of Black ownership throughout the whole environment, because it is stopped and denied by another process that was implemented in Africa called the credit state. Credit system where they credit African nations, supplement after depleting these nations, after stealing resource and labor, a credit market to loan these countries on the continent money that they can never pay back, unpayable debts, like the same cash predatory loan businesses that are set up in the hood with interest rates that put Black people in a state that they know they cannot pay back, and then setting up a credit system that deems you unable to own based on your credit rating, because now you have been put in a state of credit and welfare loan that you cannot pay back. Talking of Black ownership throughout the whole environment, unpayable debts, just like they do in Africa. So I don't know how they say we so different, when to me it all looks like we all in this together, and other sides
we're
like
brothers, we're happy and we're singing and we're colored.
The Transatlantic European slave trade is operating on a term of Black excellence, where they go into those states, grab up what they deem as Black excellence, bring those youth into their environments to go ahead and labor their brain, upping their GDP, just to spit them out in the end, as we saw during the Russia and Ukraine incident.
Slavery never ended. Colonization never ended. They were rebranded. When I tell people around me that I'm not interested in going to the West to better my life, they look at me like I'm crazy. How coincidental that I'm just seeing this video when I was having a very similar conversation with a friend of mine that's in the UK, trying to make him understand the system we're living in and why for the upteenth time I'm not moving to the UK. But then this friend brought my younger brother into the conversation, talking about, oh, your brother is so smart. Why is he letting himself waste away in Nigeria? He should move to the UK or the US. He'll be better off there. P.S. My brother is not unemployed. My brother has never been unemployed. He's been making furniture since he was in uni. And now he has his own furnishing company. So my brother is doing just fine. So I was like, hold it there. You want my brother to up and leave all he has built here and go start from scratch in a foreign land? See, we are not from a rich home, but young man started this stuff by himself in uni, and now he has been able to gainfully employ himself and other people. He's not only helping himself, he's helping the economy. But then he should leave, and this little space now he has filled should be empty. But my brother could stay put exactly where he is and then grow his business further and then help more Nigerians gain employment. You know, the exact same thing we complain about that makes us want to leave. But no, my brother will be much better if he goes to the West, give his brain to the white man, help them build their country and their economy. You know, go be our ancestors in real time. Because you see, that's exactly what they used our ancestors for, to grow their economies. And that's one reason why personally I cannot go live in the West, working in their system and everything, because I see the system for exactly what it is. The continuation of slavery. Why do you think even though these people don't like Black people, they still grant us visas to come into their countries? It's because they want us to come work for them. They don't love us. They show it all the time. Go back to Africa. And please, this video is not a shade to Africans who live in the West, especially those who had to flee their country because of war. You had to flee, and I get it 100%, dear brothers and sisters. And I am happy that you are alive and well. And for the Africans who live for a better life, I get you 100%. Man's got to eat and provide for the family. And I'm glad you are able to do that now. The point is, our ancestors already worked for them folks against their will. So the hell am I going to be doing the exact same each voluntarily? If Nigeria doesn't work for me, I'm checking Senegal out. If Senegal doesn't work for me, well, Tanzania's still on the map, baby. The opportunities here, now we know they see them. My black ass is staying in Black Africa, but if you want to leave, I wish you the best, darling. And something else I have been pondering on quite recently, if I'm being honest, is the fact that I am thinking that there is another reason as to why they make sure, the West makes sure that there is unending conflict, mayhem, distraction and destruction here on the continent. Aside from the obvious reason, of course, which is our resources that they want for cheap, if not even for free. I only now recently started thinking that there is another reason why they continue to meddle in our affairs and cause, disaster here on the continent. And that other reason is human resources. You see, if Africa is left alone to do her own thing, Africa would start to thrive. And that would mean that not only would they not be able to get her resources as cheap or as freely as they used to, that would also affect their access to Africa's human resources, which is Africa's people, Africans. Because you see, ordinarily, all things being equal, people don't leave their homes. People don't like leaving their home. They like staying back home, being around friends and family, places that they are used to and comfortable with. People don't like leaving their home. People are forced to leave their home now, but do they enjoy living? No. So, if Africa is thriving and doing well, Africans will be leaving the continent. They know this. That would be a problem now, wouldn't it? Because they need Africa's resources and they need Africans to build their own countries for them. So if Africa is stable and doing well, it's cutting at two vital parts that they need for themselves. Because if you look at people who are from like war-torn countries, where do they tend to go to the most? The West. So it's giving like a win-win at multiple end situation for these people. Not only do they, come and distract these people's systems, which will now make them unstable and easy for them to infiltrate and get their resources and, what else they want to, infiltrate and control. They also get this country's people come over and, help build their countries and economy. It's like a win at, multiple ends for them. When this clicks for me, I was like, wow, human resources. We don't really think about that much when we think about, one of the reasons why these people are interested on the continent. But yeah, that's it. My brain has been working overtime recently, but I want to hear what you guys think. If you must know, I am somewhere in the East. I came to look for the three wise men, so wish me luck. And to what she said earlier when she said this.
So I don't know how they say we so different when to me it all looks like we all in this together and all the side
We're
like
brothers.
Yes, our experiences are not very different from one another. We just need to know how to look at these experiences to spot the similarities. They basically use the same tactics that they use for us over here, for our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. The divide and conquer tactics are the same. The exploitative tactics are the same. This is why we find that even though we are in different locations, in different continents, we are all still kind of like in the same economic situations. This is why it breaks my heart when I see my people online bickering and being at each other's throats, talking about how this is different, that is different. See, white supremacy don't care what you think and how different you think you are from these people, because white supremacy sees you as the same. So they treat you exactly how they treat those other groups of people you think you are different from. So it's about time as a people we stop getting sidetracked and play into their tactics and help them carry their own water, because at the end of the day, when we participate in all of these unnecessary things and waste our times like this, we are helping the white man do his job. We are helping them achieve all that they want to achieve, because we stay divided, we stay distracted but with all of these unnecessary things that don't benefit any one of us. How she linked the similarities between social, economic, oppressed black areas in the US of A to how they are like a mirror of Africa. That was quite an intellectual breakdown, and I wanted to share it on here. Do let me know down below in the comment section what your thoughts are, and of course, as always, I would see you guys in the next one.
Shut up, it is not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.